Good morning, everyone. Okay, so it is one of my goals this year to spend some time in nature every day. And in San Francisco, that's kind of hard to do because you have Golden Gate Park, but there's just not a lot of green space. But nearby in my neighborhood, there's this lane called McCondry Lane, and it is amazing. Look at that. Look at this big old redwood tree. And every time I walk through here, it is just so calm and serene. And one of my friends lives by here, an elderly woman whom I walk with once a month. She's a psychotherapist, so I get my psychotherapy, which I don't think there's anything wrong with, but she's just a good spiritual friend of mine. And she lives around here. And look at this, Buddha. And we were talking today, we always have spiritual conversations, my friend Patience and I, and we were talking today about the idea of being in the flow. And I was recently near a pond with a swan, and I was just kind of watching the swan, and swans seem so majestic, don't they? And when they are just flowing in the water, just so serene and calm, it's pretty amazing. And I was just wondering, like, when in my life I felt that serene and amazing. And it was always when I followed my heart, because every time I followed my brain, my thinking thing, too much, and I would make a big decision in my life, I would always just pay attention to whether my heart was excited about something and wanted to leap forward toward it, or if I didn't feel it. And so I was just thinking about how that, in relation to nature, what we can learn from nature, and how that relates to us. I was thinking, when a swan is walking, it's waddling, it's not really in the flow, right? Walking on land. But when it is in the flow and in the water, it's just at ease, things come to it, and it's pretty amazing. So I'm trying to think, as I spend time in nature more and more, just trying to pay attention to what the signs are and what we have to learn from it. And today it's all about being in the flow. And everything in my life, from my broadcasting career to personal, professional, and spiritual relationships, they have always flowed to me. But the hardest part is just being in the flow, right? And just saying, you know what, I'm doing the best I can, or I've done a lot of work, and you are surrendering it to it without having, and this is the hardest part, is not having the attachment to outcome. And part of being in the flow is that it's in God's time, it's not in our time, and we'll just see what happens. But I look back, this year I'm 40, and I look back to when I was 20. There's a lot of graduations going on. Just went to my cousin Matthew's graduation. Congrats, Matthew. And I just think about, gosh, in my life, I've achieved way more than I had even ever expected. And most of the times, it was me just doing the work and letting it go and letting it flow. So here's to letting it go and letting it flow. Mwah. Have a good day. And take a look at this amazingness again.